Do you check under the bed before you sleep? If so, good. You are smart. Because while most monsters live in our minds, some hide in the real world, like the creature in the closet who ate an entire family alive. In this case, the beast wasn't furry or scaly. It looked a little different. Today, we will meet a monster who crawled through the walls. A nightmare who is also a human being. And the thing is, it's all documented. These events happened in 1987. On August 6th, Jeffrey and Teresa Dembski were living in their rented home with 4 children. They had just moved into the house and were still unpacking boxers in the living room. About 10:45 p.m., they watched TV together as the kids played on the floor. Then suddenly, 10-year-old Christopher shouted, "Someone's in my closet," followed by a blood-curdling scream. Mrs. Dembski investigated, then screamed herself. Standing inside the closet was a man covered in blood holding a meat cleaver. "Get away," he shouted. "I'm going to kill you." Mrs. Dembski backed away. As he attacked, she saw that his face was twisted in pain. His arms were skinny and covered in sores. One side of his body was paralyzed. The man hit her. She fell. Then he disappeared. She told her husband to call 911 and stay with him. She didn't want him to chase the man. She knew he would get hurt. But then a second scream split the night. 80-year-old Jason was found dead in his room. The killer had crushed his skull with the meat cleaver. And Jeffrey and Teresa lost a few precious minutes trying to save him. Their other children survived, but their lives were shattered forever. The man who butchered them was a local transient, homeless and mentally ill. He had somehow carved a hole into the family's closet and escaped through a hidden passageway between walls. It led to the attic, which led to the roof, which led to freedom. How he built this secret tunnel is unknown. Investigators ripped apart both houses, but never found any clues. What we do know is that he planned this attack. He stole into the home several times prior to scout the location, hiding in the walls until the perfect moment to strike. In hindsight, the family noticed many details they ignored before the tragedy. Tools missing from their garage, footprints in the attic, and bloodstains near the closet. But why did the killer bother tunneling through the walls when he could have just kicked down the door? We may never know. But experts theorize he preferred the darkness, the smells, the feeling of squeezing through tight spaces. It helped him escape reality. Once again, a monster who hid inside our world. They say nothing happens twice. But that's not always true. In fact, sometimes events repeat themselves nearly identically. Just like the boy who lived in a wall for 13 years. This story happened in Bangalore in India. And the boy's name was Uday Kumar. His mother died when he was young. His father remarried and had another son. But Uday Kumar felt unwanted. He claims his dad never spoke to him unless he was yelling. That's why he spent all his time playing outside. He explored the streets, rode buses, slept under trees. Then one day he found his secret hideout. It was an abandoned house with peeling paint and overgrown bushes. Inside was a big hole punched into one of the walls. Uday Kumar crawled through. It led to a narrow gap in the adjacent building. He squeezed through. It was dark, dusty, dank. But when he emerged on the other side, he found a mango orchard. Uday Kumar loved that spot. He would play all day, climb trees, pretend he was a king living in a jungle. Sometimes he stayed overnight, sleeping on the dry leaves. He did this every day for 8 years. He even skipped school to explore more parts of the wall. But then, the unthinkable happened. The owner of the adjacent building demolished it to build apartments. Uday Kumar's hiding spot vanished. He was heartbroken. He wandered the city, hungry and hopeless. Finally, he asked a policeman for help. The officer took him to a shelter for abandoned children. Now 22 years old, he refuses to leave. He has enough food, warm clothing, and friendly faces. But he misses his secret place. Even though he can't return, he visits the demolition site every day. He stares at the giant crane and asks the workers to take him up to the sky. He wants to see his wall one last time. Some people prefer to live in walls because they don't want to be seen. But in the next story, it was the opposite. They wanted to be admired. When we think of the homeless, we picture people begging on street corners or sleeping in shelters. But did you know that many millionaires live inside walls? Well, not exactly walls. More like tiny houses. Tiny homes are becoming more popular each year. In 2018, about 430,000 Americans lived in them. They are cheaper, require less work, and give people more freedom to travel. Plus, who needs a backyard when you have the whole world? Some tiny houses look like A-frames, others like ocean liners, but the best ones have walls made of glass. They allow the inhabitants to observe nature without disturbing it. Like the glass house in New Jersey. Built by architect Edward Stone, this luxury home costs $2 million. Its 5 bedrooms and bathrooms are hidden behind gigantic panes of glass. Anyone walking past can see everything. Privacy is limited to a few window blinds and one solid wall at the back of the house. That's why the place is rarely occupied. It's too exposed, but when it is, people can enjoy beautiful views from every room. Or, like the wall house in Australia, it's not actually attached to a wall, but sits on top of one. The main bedroom looks out onto a cliff more than 30 meters high. The rest of the rooms surround a central courtyard with a pool. It's like being inside a luxurious fish tank, or the floating wall house in Thailand, a beautiful mansion that sticks out from the ground. It looks like a giant white box, almost 200 meters long. People drive by and stare, but no one knows what's inside. It's a mystery, but if you're really adventurous, you could buy a transparent suitcase, pack your bags, and fly to Japan. The transparent house was designed by architect Sue Fujimoto. Everything is visible from the outside, including you. But maybe that's the point. Maybe these homes are meant to show off how amazing life can be, if you just dare to break free from the ordinary and live in a wall. Now it's time for you to speak. Tell us about a time you were stuck in a tight space or couldn't find something. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next week.